Hey friends, this is Jeff Cutler and I'm coming to you live from the recliner at the Tiny Bungalow. And today I wanted to give you 5 quick tips on being successful and getting to more prominence using YouTube and other social channels. And the reason I'm doing this is because recently a client or a potential client came to me and said, "Hey Jeff, you only have about 10,000 followers on Twitter. We're not sure that you would qualify for an ambassadorship or an influencer role with our brand. What do you bring to the table?" And I thought, I actually bring a lot more to the table than pure numbers, but that's just one of the tips that I want to share with you. So let's just go through the 5 tips and we'll discuss that again in a minute. First off, if you're looking to reach prominence and power and maybe be more successful financially and in influence on social media channels, primarily YouTube or some of the other visual channels like Instagram or Periscope or Facebook Live, the first thing you should do when you're doing this, and you saw me looking over to the side, is script your presentation, at least loosely, so you know what tips you're going to talk about, so you know what topics you're going to cover in your video, so people aren't just flying off. When you look at Casey Neistat and other people who vlog for a living, they're doing a lot of editing. They're cutting the thing up so everything's compressed into the point. I come from a more traditional journalism background where I like to run and gun. I want to shoot the thing and be done. I don't want to do any editing. So my tips and my videos go straight through from the beginning to end, but scripting it helps me do that, and I can hit on each point. Second is to be a brand and actually have a brand goal and brand message. For me, it's really simple. What I bring to the table is that I help people share their stories, however they're going to share them. If they do it via writing, which I've been doing for decades, or they're doing it via photos or video or events or stories. I've been a journalist 25 years. I've been covering stuff via photojournalism and video for nearly a decade now, and as a reporter and writer for, like I said, more than 2 decades. And what I do is help people tell their stories. So if they come to me and they have an event they want covered, they hire me to do the whole thing instead of hiring a team. And it's less expensive and more effective to have one person who can do all the facets of that sharing than it is to go to an agency, in most cases, go to an agency and bring in 6 or 7 people who may only be versed in certain individual topics. Third thing is be very professional. The reason I laugh at that is because on my note here, I scribbled some side notes in the margins. You can certainly be fun. You can certainly be a Brian Brushwood. You can certainly be a Kai Wong. You can certainly bring an attitude and some fun to the video. When Mike Langford and I did NOMX 3 for a handful of years and did more than 50 episodes of our food show, we had a ton of fun on the show and it was very loosely scripted, but it didn't mean that we weren't putting good content out there. We put in great content out there and people were getting a lot from our show. So be professionals when you're recording, but you can also be fun. Be a pro, but have some fun doing it. Otherwise, why are you even out here sharing yourself on social media channels or on video? Fourth thing is stick to it. I've been doing this since 2007, just on and off. My YouTube channel has more views than I could ever imagine, and it's just because I've been putting different content up there. Videos from Hurricane Sandy to cat videos. I don't know if you're going to see this cat jump into view in a moment. There's a cat right on my right wrist, now on my lap. And just sharing stuff that I know my audience will like. And that includes the stories that people want to tell. It also includes the stories I want to tell, like the 52 list project that I'm doing regularly and weekly with my wife Gretchen. So stick to it. The more you do it, the bigger audience and the more dedication you'll have from your viewers, and they'll be more attentive to new stuff that you put out there. like this tips video. I haven't done a tips video like this in ages, but I wanted to do that to get my point across. And number 5 is really the point that I started the video off with, that I kicked it off with, is that size doesn't really matter. You can have a niche audience and be very powerful without having the same numbers as a TV star. And I say that because the people that come to watch my stuff are interested in food, in cats, in journalism, in sports, in travel. Very focused on those certain topics. And if they want something broader, they're going to go to someone else that is offering maybe something that's not as targeted. So niche can be a lot more powerful than pure numbers. I have, as I mentioned before, 10,000 followers on Twitter, but a number of those followers have 1 million followers in their stream. So all it takes is a couple of people to follow me and reshare what I'm sharing for my tweets or my social updates to be valuable. That's all I have for you today. 5 tips on how to be more productive and successful via social channels, via video, and via social media. You can find me at Jeff Cutler on Twitter, or just go to jeffcutler.com. All the links are there on the site. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like this. And everyone urges everyone to subscribe, so subscribe below. And you'll get updates on my next video when it comes up. Thanks.